Hello out there folks, and hello to all of my lovely subscribers, and seeing as this is my first video of 2025, Happy New Year. I hope you've all had a great Christmas. Now, I'm going to get straight on with things now. So you'll see that I'm in Automobilista 2 by Reza Studios, and I'm going full send. I'm about to start a race, and I'm going to show you the options for this race. So in gameplay, we're at full damage on medium scaling. I'll explain everything in a moment, but just have a look at these settings. So we are starting off a 30-minute race on yesterday's date, so that's January, at 30 times time progression, so we'll be going into the night, and we are starting off in the wet, going to dry, with some fog at the end, and also we're starting off on a wet track. But look at the opponent settings, 120% skill, that's the maximum that they go at, and max aggression as well, with a multi-class grid comprised, and also, as you can see, strict rules on the penalties. So the wet scaler, you will have noticed, is down from 1 to 0.72, and that's because I found that I can keep with these AI in these cars in the dry, but they're a little bit too fast with me in the rain, so I've lowered it a little bit. And we've got a grid, we're at Sebring, and we've got a grid of 10 or 11 with me LMP2s, and we have got another 20 GT4s, which at some point we're going to have to get past and overtake. And yeah, I think this car, I don't know, tell me what you think in the comments. Are these LMP2s not some of the best cars in Automobilista 2 at the moment? They're just fantastic. And you'll also notice that I'm on screen, but I'm not actually talking. For the first time on one of my videos, I'm doing a voiceover, because I literally was on this all day yesterday, and I tried doing it whilst commentating, whilst driving, and with the AI at that skill and starting off in the wet, I just couldn't do it. This is going to be one hell of a race. The reason I've recorded it for you is because I ran a live stream the other day with these cars on this track, with a few of us on track and the rest being AI. Oh, I'll come back to that. We're about to go green. Here we are at Sebring, and immediately you'll see that the visibility was pretty much nil when you're behind the pack there. We're making it through the first corner safely, and it's, yeah, I've got to say, the rain effects and the spray effects in Automobilista 2 since the update, they've really improved. It looks so good. It's just like being on a busy motorway when you're too close to another car in front. You can't see a thing apart from tail lights. Anyway, I decided to do this because, as I said, I was running a server with a few humans in it, but we populated the rest of the grid with AI, and actually some of the best racing I had was actually with the AI, and it was in this car at this track. And so what I've done here is, I hope you're going to enjoy this, I really do, because you're going to see some really great racing with the AI. It's going to be interesting because we're in the wet, really slippery, wet track default with rain coming down, and also it's going to get even more interesting when the field of LMP2s that I'm in is going to have to try and get through the field of GT4s. And also, because literally I tried this so many times yesterday, and I ended up coming in, I completed it twice and came in last both times, and spent a lot of time not completing and crashing out, or something would happen. So this time round, without giving too much away, I have to say I was very pleased with the result, seeing as the AI are at 120%, as high as they will go. And you'll see from my face there that I'm really concentrating. So we're coming up to the last corner at Sebring. Round we go. This bump here, I kept trying to just brake or slow down just before it, try and keep the front end down, or just avoid it completely, but it's really quite hard. And in previous attempts, it was that bump that sent me off, and other places as well. Anyway, I'm in the Ligier, because of course in the Gen 2 LMP2s you've got the Eureka and the Ligier. Really enjoying driving this car. It's just a great car to drive. We're neck and neck with the AI there, and there are plenty of moments in this race where I'm having amazing battles, swapping places with one car for several laps, or having side-by-side racing. I'm getting overtaken or I'm overtaking them. It was just absolutely fantastic as we go through the chicane there. And whilst you're watching the racing, I've got to say, the updates to this sim, what they've done with the graphics, they've toned down the colour palette, which has always been good. The graphics have always been good in Autumn Blister 2, but it was a little bit garish, a little bit cartoonish in the colours. They've really worked hard to tone that down, and we've got much more realistic textures, colours mainly. Now, also during the race, of course, the live track technology is fantastic, and the track is just changing underneath me all the time, every lap. So there's obviously now those painted curbs, or especially this one on the outside, they're a lot more, if you get on the painted curbs, they're a bit slippery now in the wet. It's really well done. It's not overdone, it's well done. And of course, rubbing in lines in the wet are best to avoid, although with this particular race there's not too much rubber laid down on the track, because I've gone for a wet preset and I haven't had a practice and qualifying session in the dry before, so there's not too much rubber laid down, but it's still a bit, and it does make a difference. And of course, as it dries out, you're aiming for the rubbered in line, and it will dry out. But obviously, because there's 3 weather spots and they're synced to race, the weather's going to change quite quickly. But I had to do that to get this all into 30 minutes, and I did it a 30-minute race, so I've got chance for everything to happen, get through, overtake the GT4s. I think we ended up overtaking the GT4s about twice, and I have to say, when we do that, watching the faster AI get through the slower cars is pretty damn amazing. They've really done a good job on the AI. So the weather as well, when you see the fog come in later, it's just absolutely fantastic. I am concentrating there as hard as I can, because to keep with it, I started off just trying to keep with the AI. Like I said, when I completed the race, I was coming in dead last. Well, not dead last, I'd beat the GT4s, but I'd be last out of my class. And there was, I think, 10 or 11 of us in the LMP2s. But look at that visibility when you're up behind the car. It's just, half the time I either can't see the apex, sometimes I'm losing my bearings because of all the spray, I just can't see the track properly. But it's so well done. Look at the car squirreling there as we come out the last corner. So I started off with, for the start, just to get off the line, I started off with just one click of traction control and a well-controlled throttle, and then ramped it up to about 3. Oh, you'll see I hit the bump there. And as soon as I got round a couple of corners, I ramped that up to about 3 clicks of traction control. I don't use a lot of electronic aids, and I'm not a huge fan of them in AMS2, but having a little bit of traction control there did help me just to get out of the slower corners. And on the brakes, especially areas like this, I am braking like I'm treating the brake pedal like it's an eggshell under my foot. And also, because these cars don't have any ABS, I think there are a couple of points where I got close to locking up and started cadence braking. And well, I don't want to teach you how to suck eggs, you probably know what that is, but it's basically and there are moments like that as well. I've lost it on the corner there, and luckily enough, that terrible rejoin there wasn't with real people, it's with AI, but I had to rejoin as quickly as possible. Just swap paint with that car as I've rejoined. He's got through and I've got no damage. Remember, I'm running full damage. Now, I would have tried this with full damage on max scaling, but I do find that when you're on max scaling, the AI their driving doesn't seem to suffer as much from the damage as yours does. At medium, they're about the same as yours, so I thought I'd go full damage with medium. Also, with the wet scaler, I'm on 120% AI skill, and I did find that the cars, the AI whilst driving in the wet, were a little bit faster than me. So I brought the AI wet skill down to 72, but I might have gone a little bit far with it. So if this was dry, it would be more like I was racing with the AI about 117 dry skill level. So not quite a true 120 AI skill, but still very, very close to their maximum skill levels. And of course they're on max aggression, so they are not giving me an inch, and they're going for any gap that they can. And this corner here, I found that as I got more and more used to it, going slightly off there, riding the dirt on the outside. Yeah, so as I got used to those longer corners, I started leaning on the aero a bit more. We're making a pass there, so we're now up to 8th place. I did find that particular corner I was quite good at, and I could get past the AI well there. And I think they were running quite different setups to me, because I did find that certain corners they were much better at than me. Some of the lower speed corners I was better at, but the high speed corners, that's generally where they'd catch me up. So the last turn and the first turn of Sebring. And look at Sebring, isn't it just absolutely gorgeous? The trees look fantastic. I did have the graphics cranked up a whole little bit of a lockup there, or near lockup. I did have the graphics cranked up as high as I could get them to go without having my FPS suffer. But because we started off with a full field in the rain, we got 30 cars on track, all cars are visible. With the headlights and the spray, we did start off at about 45 frames per second, but it quickly went up as the field spread out to about 75. And you can see now that the rain has stopped, and but obviously the track is still wet. I think there's a little bit of rain still falling, but the track's still very wet. But because it's synced to race, it's changing quickly, and if you look very closely, you'll see that the dry line starts appearing quite quickly, becoming wide from the outside, staying to the outside there. So I've missed the bump, which is more to the inside of the track there. Delicate on the throttle on the way out, still in 8th place. And I did try and get my exits for the long straights. I did try and get them tidy so I could keep up with the other cars and get in their slipstream, so I could use that to my advantage. The slipstreaming's really good. Again, an effect which is not overdone, just right. We're overtaking again there at the same space we did last time round. Like I said, I did find I was better in the slower corners, making the jump on the other cars. So we're now in 7th place. And you can hear there, I'm just tugging on the edge of grip on the tyres there. And I think at some point soon enough, I lower the traction control. As it gets drier and drier, I lower the traction control down to about 1 click of traction control. And there we had a moment, nearly lost it. Any moment like that on a faster corner, if it went too far and you spun, it's pretty much it, race over, because one spin and you nearly lost. But we had one earlier and got out of it. There is a big moment coming up a little bit later as well to look out for. I did find these 2 corners here. I struggle with those 2 corners. I don't know about you. Do you struggle with those 2 corners at Sebring? Let me know in the comments. Oh, and by the way, if you got this far through the video and you're enjoying it, which I hope you are, please think about subscribing to the channel, giving us a like. Anything you can do to keep this little channel going is much appreciated. I don't get a lot of time in the rig anymore, and I am sort of making this video quite hurriedly as well, because I've got to be somewhere soon. We're now coming up on the GT4s. Now things get really interesting, so watch the blue flag behaviour of the GT4s and watch how the LMP2s get through. The AI are really impressive as we look at one side by side with us, and he keeps it all the way around the outside of the corner, but I'm still there on the inside. I've got another LMP2 in front of me. They're taking the inside line. The GT4s are staying to the inside. Really amazing blue flag behaviour from the GT4s. And I'm just getting past, but slightly on the grass there, because we're 3 wide. Obviously, there are going to be points where the GT4s just simply can't move off the racing line in a tight corner, so you have to stay behind them for a bit. But look at that, the McLaren there just staying to the edge. The LMP2 in front of me going straight down the inside. GT4's trying to keep the racing line, but staying far enough over that the LMPs can get through. And I'm following the LMP2 in front. I've made another 2 places. The traffic with the GT4s helped me, of course, but they're all going down the inside now. And I'm going down the inside, but it's a bit tight there as we pass the Mercedes and the Porsche. And now down to these corners that I struggle with. LMP2 going for the inside of the corner. GT4 staying to the outside there. And now we've got our legs, because we've got a whole long straight, and the whole right hand side of the track is free. Also, we're on the wet stuff on the right hand side, so cooling the tyres down, because obviously as the track dries the wets are going to get warm. You can see the brake disc just lighting up occasionally when we go into heavy braking zones like that. And 2 LMPs going either side of the GT4. GT4 just keeping it calm. I've managed to pick up the slipstream of the LMP2 beside me, overtaken that and picked up the slipstream of the one in front as we corner. But of course that's lowered my downforce a little bit in the dirty air, so the yellow and red car that I just overtook has got it back. Oh, that was tight. Now going up the inside of another GT4, and we're all through. And now I think there's only a couple more GT4s to overtake, and we're home free. In 5th place now, 5th place. Got the GT4 on the outside. Now I'm going through the inside. Let's see what the yellow car behind me, the yellow LMP2, does. Follows me straight through. Absolutely amazing behaviour by the AI. Well done, Reza, with what you've done with the AI in this sim. It's just fantastic. And now I've got a challenge from the yellow LMP2 car behind me. So I'm going to try and stave him off. And I've got one in front of me, the green one there that I'm following. Going to try and stay close enough so when we come up on the long straights I can get into that slipstream track. Now, oh, we can see that the light has obviously changed. That 30 times time progression has sped up the time, so we're now coming into the night time, and just, oh, big moment there. Had a little slide. That's allowed the yellow and red car to catch up. He's slipstreamed me, but hasn't quite got a good enough exit to take. Oh, he is catching up. He's catching gradually. But look now, big moment. He's just caught me on the inside. I may have turned in on him a little bit sharply there. And we've just tapped the tyre wall there, but we've only just touched it. So no damage. I was so lucky there. I'm now down a place into 6th. And you can see there under the lights the reflection of how much water is still actually on the track. So it is still pretty slippery. So that set us back a place. LMP2s have raced off ahead, and I'm now giving it everything I've got to catch up. But we are getting more grip as that. You can see the drying line. If you look really closely, you can see it as we go over the darker parts of the tarmac. Look at the lighting around the track. It's just fantastic. tight into the corner there, using the curbs. And I've turned my headlights up as well. There's great lighting around this track. We've gone a bit wide there. There is good flood lighting around this track. A little bit slippery there. You can see there the drying line. You can see on the right hand side of the track it's wet and it's drier on the racing line there. It's becoming more and more obvious. But yeah, the lighting in this, absolutely great, it really is. So how do I do with these two corners here? I think, yeah, I made a bet. I'm starting to get used to those two corners at this point. Now this is the one that you've got to get a really good exit from. But as you saw there, when it's dry you can totally abuse that curb, but when it's wet you can see I did get a bit slippy there. I've just turned, I've cycled through my lights and gone onto the higher setting. And I'm trying to stick to, you can see the dry line, I'm just slightly off it. And now I'm on it. The left-hand tyres are on the dry, so I've got a good exit there. As we come down the main grid straight here at Sebring. Trying to just rely on the aero as much as possible around that corner. I do find that with this car, if I go into that corner fast, brake a little bit, turn in it, and then keep the power down, I'm okay. But if I lift, it starts to understeer. If I don't just do that counterintuitive thing of going faster to have more grip, if you like, with all the aero on these cars. And yeah, what do you guys think of this car? I honestly think it's just a fantastic drive. And we are now catching up. I've lost track of what's going on here. We're now catching up with the black and red LMP2. I took my eyes off the screen there. Is that the car we were following before? Because I think the yellow and red one might have made an overtake on the red and black car there, because I'm sure we were behind the red and yellow one. Oh, slippery there. Of course, the wet tyres are getting a little bit hot, as you can see from my tyre widget. You can also see all of my pedal inputs on the right hand side. You can see how much I'm feathering the throttle. And now you can see from the replay cameras the fog is coming in. Hopefully we're going to see that on the cockpit camera down there below. It was actually absolutely amazing to see the fog come in. It's really well done. Coming up the back straight now, and you can really see that drying line. Stars appearing in the sky. I've actually sat with the time turned up to times 60 and literally watched the moon come down, or the sun come down and the moon go up. I've stopped the car and just watched that. You can actually see it happening at 60 times. It's pretty amazing. Just can't get over how good this sim looks now. It really is. I think really one of the best sims, best looking sims out there for sure. So yes, that is the yellow and red car up ahead. He must have overtaken the black and red car, but we're now making it, or trying to make a move on the red and black car, which we're catching up with them in the slipstream now. But we are coming into a heavy braking zone, so I'll move to the right, see if I can outbrake him. Not quite. So stay tight in the corner and try and get a good exit, but I couldn't just get far enough over at the right to overtake. And he's got away from us again. Some of the reflections you see off of the lights on the replay cameras there, absolutely, look at that, there we go on the replay camera, just amazing. And we've got to move on him, but he's holding his line, but he's on the curb, which has slowed him down a little bit. We're neck and neck, side by side. This is exactly what we want to see. And we're through. Close to me behind me on these two corners, because I do struggle with them. Now, do I get a good exit out of here? I've slowed him down a little bit on the apex there, but I've got a decent apex. He is in my slipstream though. The slipstreaming by the AI is really good. He's catching gradually, but not enough to make an overtake on me before the corner. I'm protecting the inside as much as I can there, and it's a good exit out, so I've put a little bit of space between us both. As we come into the first corner, tight to the inside, rely on the aero, and come out and just about to touch the curbs on the outside there. And once again, if you're enjoying this video, please do subscribe to the channel. Give us a like. I'm not able to make videos as much as I used to. In fact, I didn't do any videos for about 6 months over last year. I'm just not at home enough. I work away now. But I have to say, coming back this weekend and having the time to do this was just brilliant. And thanks to everyone that joined the live server the day before as well. I know there were only a few of us because I knew there wouldn't be many, because I did it randomly, impromptu, no advertisement, just went ahead and ran a live server. So there are only a few of us, but we did have a great time with the rest of the track populated with AI. And I must say that's a great feature of AMS2, that you can jump online, have a race. If you're only, you can ring up your friend, like my friend Flip Flops, we'll ring each other up, and there's only 2 of us. We'll go out and have a race and just populate the rest of the grid with AI. It's brilliant. R-Factor 2 you can do that with as well, but not many sims. You can't do that with ACC, have real players in a multiplayer and AI at the same time. Gone very wide there, and sideways moment. Did you see the amount of opposite lock I had to put on to keep that on the track? Really do enjoy driving this car. I have found that with the update, there's cars I like and cars I don't. Some cars have got much better, some cars have got, well, not worse, but there are certain things happening with tyre physics on certain cars which I don't find quite right. On other cars, absolutely brilliant, but Breeze are completely, they've still got a lot of development work to go, so they're continuously developing. So gradually everything will become as good as it can get. And you can see the fog there on the cockpit camera. You can see that just hanging above the track there. It's an absolutely amazing effect. As we come up on 2 more LMP2s, there's the red and yellow one that I was following earlier. You can see that up ahead. And we're coming up on the GT4s one more time. I just saw a BMW GT4 ahead. I deliberately put GT4s on rather than GT3s, which would probably be more appropriate. But I put the GT4s on so we might have a chance to have to get through them at least once. But we actually got through them twice because they're a lot slower than the LMP2s. And I'm trying to go for the outside there, but of course the GT4, that was his racing line. He's gone to the outside, but he's then pulled over. Amazing blue flag behaviour, and look at the LMPs in front getting through. So we're coming past the Porsche now, and watch the red and yellow one up ahead in the replay cameras going down the inside of the yellow and red GT4. I've gone around the outside of the BMW there. Absolutely amazing to watch this back on replay. I really do enjoy my replays. Do you guys like replays? Do you watch your replays back? Let me know in the comments. Oh, and also, if you want to see some of the stuff I was getting up to in the 6 months where I wasn't making videos and hardly getting in the rig at all, if you want to see some of the real life stuff I was doing, i.e. drifting at my local drift club, let me know, because I could do a couple of videos on that. As we come up behind the Camaro, I'm trying to get as much slipstream of it as possible before I move out and overtake. And up ahead there you can see the LMP2s going down the inside, and big lock up there. Now that lock up just there gave me a little bit of a flat spot. I could feel it through the steering as we fight with the LMP2 on the inside. I've blocked him in. I blocked him in deliberately behind that blue Ginetta there. so I could make a move on him. So he's behind me now as I go around the outside of the GT4s. So I've got him held up, and I'm now in 4th place, up to 4th place. Very pleased with that. And I've chosen the bad line now. I've gone for the inside, whereas the white and red LMP2 has gone for the outside, and he's actually got through quicker than me there. And you can see that the red and yellow LMP2 has got past the GT4s behind and is already catching up. There he is on the replay cameras there. So he's now behind me. Look at that move going on behind me there. Oh. It's just amazing to watch what I really do think, and I'm sure there's people out there who'll disagree, and feel free to, but I really do think, oh, right on the outside there, trying to squeeze past the GT4. And look at the LMP2 behind me. He's gone straight into the slipstream of the GT4, then pulled out to overtake as I get slipstream off the green one in front. Oh, that was very close as we go through the last corner. Yeah, as I said, I think these are some of the best AI in sim racing, and we are now in 2nd position. After all the attempts I made yesterday whilst trying to commentate with the AI at this skill level, I was coming in last every time. And driving without commentating, unbelievably, I'm on the podium. On the podium at this skill level, I'm very, very happy. Oh, I was very happy, rather. I've just gone a little bit wide there. I should have gone round the inside to overtake, but look, he's staying to the left there as he knows I'm coming. Again, amazing blue flag behaviour. Well done, Reza. Still being a little bit delicate as the track's still fairly moist, because obviously we've got the fog coming down. You'll notice no one pitted for tyres. So the wet tyres, I'm trying to be careful with them because I don't want them getting too hot on the drier parts of the track, and I'm moving to the wet parts of the track to keep them cool when I can, like on straights. But in the braking areas, another bit of a lock up there. That was the back right, and the back left, sorry, that's just locked up a bit there. But yeah, I'm in the braking and corner areas, I'm trying to stay on the dry for as much grip as possible, and then when I go down the straights, trying to cool them down by going on the wet stuff, because obviously you don't want to get wets too hot. But that flat spot is starting to make me lock up more, and you can really see the fog across the track now on this straight. But yeah, great to see that the AI decided to stay out on wets, because, well, they don't. If they'd have pitted and I'd stayed on wets, I'm pretty sure I would have won. And that is it. Coming in 2nd place. Listen to me now. You'll hear me. That's the first thing I've said on that recording. I was so happy. Motherfudging did it. 2nd place. 2nd in class. Oh my god. I was very pleased with my little self.
Oh my god, after a whole day of it.
You can hear how tired I am.
I blooming did it.
This race was done at about 1 o'clock in the morning, between 12 and 1 in the morning.
I can't believe it. Finally. Awesome. That was awesome. Absolutely awesome.
And it really was.
Just fantastic.
So I do decide to celebrate now.
That was just...
with some donuts. And why not? I was over the moon last night after that. Absolutely over the moon.
Awesome.
Oh, I am over the motherfudging moon. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed that, please subscribe to the channel, give us a like. Oh wow, second place, 120 AI skill. Happy sim racing, all the best. You can pause the video here if you want to see the results, and you'll see that I actually even got the fastest lap. All the best.